Very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from Zulu Sierra 6 Yankee India. Partially running the DATV Net today. I have my grandson visiting from the UK and they want to go swimming. So I'll come in onto the net, get it going, and then ask Leon to continue with it, which he's kindly offered to assist. All right, we, as usual, want to thank the Qatar Satellite Company for allowing us the opportunity to use part of their satellite with our satellite, AMSAT DL, AMSAT UK, and of course the BATC. Today on frequency, we have the following. We have a G4IMO, Nick. Nice to see you back from the Philippines there, Nick. We have Bert. Good to see you back on frequency, Bert. Been missing you. Papa Alpha 3 Alpha Oscar Delta. Hello to you, Martin. Saw you again. PC Week 2. Sounds good. Saw it just now. Hello to Peter, GW7BZY in Wales. To Ohan, who's going to give us a good talk on FFmpeg. He's been doing a lot of work on that, some exciting stuff. And to Phil, Mike 0 PIT, who I saw earlier. Hello to you, Leon, ZS1 Mike. And Paul, welcome back, Ocean Echo 8 Papa Charlie Kilo. Right, what I'm going to quickly touch on, let me just go back to the main scene there. I'm going to try and show you guys a unit we made to hold a LNB, specifically an LNB onto a dish. Not through a potty, this is for a receiving dish. And so we milled it out of a thick piece of aluminium. So I thought I'll just show you guys what we're doing. So let me click onto Iron View and bring it up. And it won't take long. Then I'll show you a quick slideshow of what we're after, what we're doing. And I just want to get rid of the camera. Okay, I hope it's going to come through. Yeah, it looks like that. So we took a big block of aluminium and started to mill out a holder, but you'll see what we did. In the middle, you'll see a hole. It was just to clamp it down right next to the cutter. And then when we were finished, we milled it exactly to the diameter of a normal LNB and then slit it. But you'll see. Now, let's see if this darn thing works. I need to get... Now, why doesn't this work? Sorry, guys. Image. It's been such a long time since I've done this Iron View. Let me just see if it will click over to the next slide. For whatever reason, it doesn't. Now, that's interesting. Let me just try this darn thing again. If that doesn't work, we'll do it next week once I've had more practice with this. Play the station. Okay, that might work there. Let's just see it's come up. Okay, next slide. You can see it's starting to take shape and looks a little bit better as it's starting to take shape. So it's just cutting out of this 25mm piece of aluminium stock we had lying around. So I thought, well, instead of throwing it away, let's put it to some good use. And so the cutting progresses, and slowly you can see it's starting to take shape, and then it gets a bit better. As you can see now from a different angle, you can now see what we're trying to achieve. And carrying on cutting. Took a long time to get it cutting, you know, because we didn't want it to break a cutter and do it too fast. So as you can see, it's like a photograph developing as it's carrying on. I've got some lovely CAD for this, which I wanted to show, but for whatever reason, it wasn't downloaded. But you can see it's starting to take shape now. And I'm just going to rush through it because it's no point. There we go. That's a bit of a better see. Now you can more or less get to see what we're trying to do. One of the legs are almost complete, the leg in front. And we're now busy with the other leg. So we turned it around, obviously, and continued cutting the different legs. And once we were done with cutting the legs, we, of course, cut the centerpiece. But now you can see they're slowly getting done. It's a long process, actually. Took a few hours, I can tell you, because we weren't rushing it. And it's not a production thing. That's just seen from the other end. It's starting to look good. There we go. It's a nice view. And from the top, because once it was in that same situation, we eventually cut a big hole in the middle and then we split it, but you'll see why. There's a final cut starting to happen. A little bit tedious. I should have taken out some of these, but anyway, you can see it developing. And right, so now we took that out. It was now cut. The legs were cut nicely. We turned it around. Now you can see it standing off. Now we cut the hole in the middle and parted it. And there you can see, if you carefully look, we actually used a piece of aluminium on our ring just to centralize things, to make sure it was all centralized. And you can now see that it's been milled, the top two, and that will hold the LNB. And the bottom one, we've got a slot in that so we can just tighten it up to a datum. So it's always in the center. And if the LNB's size is slightly bigger or smaller, we can move around with it. That's just another angle of it. So it's just that little spider thing that we milled out of solid plate. I used to just weld the things up, but I thought, we've got this piece. It'll give an appy a bit of good practice to do something like this. Anyway, there we got it. The LNB's, well, actually, that's just an old shell I had. But that's what it looks like. It's nicely centered. And if we turn it around, you can see there's a gap. If I can bring my thing over there, you can see there's a gap just over there. And that is the gap that holds the thing very central. And then you can go with any diameter, really. And so there we go. It was done, and put the LNB on. And then we had to, of course, go and test it, and it gave me a good 1D point extra. But I'm not satisfied that that's as good as I can get it yet. The mechanics is fine. I'm happy with the mechanics, the way it's turned out on the dish. And it's working well. There it is actually on the dish. Yesterday I put it on. And just now I can tune it in and out so I can really fine focus it. And believe me, it makes a difference. Hey? We went from a D 11.5 to 11.6. It makes about a 0.1, 0.2 of a dB difference. Just fine tuning it in with a 12 millimeter range that we have on a solid prime focus dish. And that's the back end. That's how it sits. This is now obviously not for transmitting. This is on a 1.8 meter prime focus, solely for receiving, because this is also going to be GPS locked, and I want to try and reduce noise levels so that if I transmit, I don't have any effect whatsoever. And that's a new dish I just quickly slapped up. I haven't mounted it on the balcony. I just used some 45 or 25 liter X thinners tins, and I just filled it with sand. It's far too heavy. Yes, I tell you, I don't care what the windstorm, it's not going to take that away. There's quite a few, over 100 kilograms of sand holding it down. But it's good because you could fine tune it and just leave it there. The dishes on the back, as you can see, are permanently mounted, and I do have actuators that can mount them, can move them. But in this case, that wasn't the case. Right, so let me get out of this iron view thing and go back to the camera, and there we are. So the next one on the list, if you would kindly take it, I just want to see who that is. Again, I didn't write it down. That will be Nick. Nick, you pass it to Bert, and so we go down. And Leon, if you don't mind taking it thereafter and continuing with the net, I'll make this my final over, as the youngsters want to go and have a quick swim. And I only see my grandson about 3 or 4 times a year, but only for short time. So I would like to spend a bit of time with them. Right, to you, Nick, sir, from ZS6 Yankee, India.
Yeah, okay, Gary, thanks for that. Yeah, I'll just check my audio. Yeah, that's there. Where's my camera? It's been so long, I can't remember how to operate this. Right, I think it's working. Yes, good afternoon to everybody. Nice to see you all on the net. Yeah, okay, on that exercise there, Gary, that aluminium. Yeah, I remember when I was an apprentice. When I left school, I went to join the Marconi company in Chelmsford to become an apprentice. I was only about 17, and yeah, as part of the apprenticeship was to use lathes and milling machines and that sort of thing. But yeah, so that was a few years ago then. Anyway, all very interesting. Yeah, I came back to the UK after a nice long holiday, and there was lots of Windows updates, which has caused havoc with my computer. But I have taken the opportunity to upgrade to Windows 11 now, which is working, but I'm not happy. Well, I prefer Windows 10 because a lot of the things, the functions that I had, aren't working now. So anyway, but for some reason, as I was talking to Martin earlier on, OBS, I cannot control my audio level or even mute my audio. So, but apparently it is working. So I shall leave well alone for the moment until I can investigate next week. Anyway, I'll just show you a few photos. If I can work out how to do this. Yeah, one of the places we stayed at was this place here, which is Mazamari Cove, which is island. It's on the island of Luzon, and this is one of the resorts that we stayed at. Very nice it was too. Temperature was about 34 degrees centigrade. Very nice. And then we drove up north, went to the city of Baguio. I don't know whether you remember, but back in 1990, I think there was a massive earthquake there, and one of the major hotels collapsed there. But this place, this Baguio city, is up in the mountains. It's about 5,000 feet above sea level. So it's only the temperature there was only about 18 degrees. So it was quite chilly. This is another hotel which we stayed at as well. But at the hotel they had a satellite installation there. This I would estimate is probably a 1.8 meter dish, which is obviously looking up at one of their satellites. Of course, that's an offset dish, so it's looking up. I think the elevation to their geostationary satellites is about 70 degrees, something like that, 65, 70 degrees elevation. What else can I show you? Oh, on the way there, well, while we were in the Philippines, we were driving around in a Toyota Fortuner. And on the way there, the rear tyre, we managed to get a puncture. So we managed to change the wheel, so got that sorted out. That was quite good. But the one of the problems with the Fortuner is because of the high humidity out there when you're driving around, you have the air conditioning on. It's say 18 degrees inside the car, but outside it's like 34 degrees and it's very humid, so you get condensation on the outside of the side windows, and so it's hard to use the side mirrors. So that was a major concern with all the condensation out there. Ways of travelling around the Philippines fairly cheaply. They have these. These are old jeepneys which were left over from the old World War II, so that they're quite old. They only do about, I don't know, 20 mile an hour, 30 miles an hour if you're lucky. You could always use a tricycle as well. There's thousands of these tricycles out there, which is another cheap way to travel. But that they're not designed for people who are relatively tall. I had a ride on one of these, and I've managed to about squeeze in the thing. There isn't a lot of room inside, but I tried to do some videoing while I was out there, but because it was their rainy season there, most of the time we were out and about in the car with the rain and obviously the wipers going. It isn't very good and things, but I did a little bit of video so you can see what it's like driving there in the Philippines. I won't run this for too long anyway. But while we were there, we experienced 4 typhoons while we were there. So which I'll show you the effects of one of our neighbours. I'll show that in a minute if I can find it on here. Here we go. This one. Yeah, this is the house that we stay in on the left-hand side of the picture, and on the right-hand side, they're our neighbours, and you can see one of the corrugated metal roofs there is flapping around in the wind from the typhoon. So anyway, I thought I'd show you those. Hope you found them interesting. I'll go back to my camera. I can find it. Where is it? Yeah, here we go. And that's it. So yeah, unfortunately there isn't any chance of seeing QO-100 out there, the satellite. It's I did check. It's about minus 13 degrees elevation, so it's well below the horizon there. So no chance of seeing that. Anyway, I put myself first on the list here because I'm expecting some visitors in about half an hour. So I shall watch the net for as long as I can, but I will make this my one and only transmission. So round to the next station, PA3AOD G4IMO.
Yeah, see. Okay, I believe it's working. Let's see. Hey, good day everybody, morning or evening, wherever you are. Yeah, the last time when I was here in the net, it was probably somewhere in January or so, or maybe the end of last year. So it was a long time ago. Got a lot of other things to do here at my house. Sorry. Got a lot of things to do here at my house and no time to get on the net. I was now and then, but not to put the TDX on. So I just want to say hello, and that's all. I'm on the moment busy with a small computer. Maybe some of you guys know this little thing. It's from an Intel, an NUC, an Intel NUC. And I try to remove the motherboard because the fan is not fanning anymore. It's not rotating anymore, so I have to replace the fan. But it's a difficult one. It's because I cannot remove the motherboard. I can find on YouTube a lot of movies, but they're all from the modern ones. This is the third generation, and yeah, I could not find till now any third generation manual or whatever you call it. Even on the site from Intel itself, it's mentioned somewhere that this was existing on a certain moment, but yeah, now it's difficult to get the PC board out. You can see on compared to my hand, it's a little thing, but it's still working. But yeah, I have to replace the fan. Without a fan, probably will destroy the CPU. And yeah, maybe an hour time. So that's the thing I'm trying at the moment. And that's all I have to tell on the moment. So the weather is perfectly. I'm sitting here in the sun, and it's rather warm. Behind glass in the sun. Outside temperature is not so fine. It's around 7 degrees centigrade at the moment. But yeah, in the sun, behind the glass, it's a perfect over here in the shack. Okay, I will pass it back to the UK, and then let's see, where's my list? To Martin, GAKOE. System is yours from Papa Alpha, 3 Alpha, Oscar, Delta.
Right, thanks there, Bert. Let's make sure we've got some sound. Right, thanks there, Bert. Let's mute that up. If I suddenly go off, it's because my PC problems have come back. So I do warn people. We'll run through that, but hopefully at the moment it's going, and yeah, it's getting things out of yeah, I've not got one of those little PCs, but that looks fun and games, a bit like getting laptops apart. It's usually easy when you've got it apart and broken something. You can say, "Oh yes, that's what I should have done." But anyway, yeah, last week. Let's get back to the PC to start with. Last week I was having problems with the PC, which. So on Monday, because it's under, I've got a service agreement with it, I contacted the people concerned, and spent probably an hour and a half, and they did remote access to the PC, updated loads of drivers, and checked this, and checked that, and did this and did that, and said, you know, if any more problems, probably have to. There's probably a corruption in the operating system, and we'll have to do a full install. So they then went away, and later that day, I started getting the problems, which were that the PC would lock up, the mouse and the keyboard wouldn't work, and things would freeze totally. So another call from a service slot on the Tuesday, and he goes, "Oh yes, there's a recovery sort of thing in the BIOS." So he put up from BIOS, and yeah, that's all automatic. Just start it going. Goodbye.
So yes, it did install an operating system, but I'd been using Windows 11 and that stuck Windows 10 on. So having got Windows 10 on, I then did the update to Windows 11, which took absolutely hours, and I mean absolutely hours. And then installed a few bits and pieces. It seemed to be working, but then it started locking up again. The mouse didn't work and the screen was flashing and such like. So many more calls. I must have spent days on the phone to them. So on Thursday, we actually have a service engineer came out and they replaced the motherboard and the graphics card. And he checked a few bits and pieces and things and such like, and left me with a USB stick, which he said would put the operating system on. Now I expected the USB stick to be a Windows 11 that it would stick it on, but when I got further problems on the Friday, I thought, right, we'll update the operating system, but it put Windows 10 on. So we get Windows 10 on, and I'm cursing and swearing, so I start the update to Windows 11, which it gets to 99%, and it never gets to the 100%, so I can put it in. This was using the Dell USB stick, which is what the computer is. So I thought I'll leave it overnight, it'll sort itself out. No, it didn't. So we downloaded a image onto a PC from Microsoft and did a clean install using that, booting from the USB drive, and that took less than an hour probably to put it on. Enabled me to delete all the nasty partitions that had been set up on the hard drive, and got Windows 11 in, which was looking pretty good. And we've slowly worked our way through, getting a little bit of software on and testing things out. And I thought we were getting somewhere, except this morning it locked up totally again. And it keeps locking up. When I saw Gary on earlier, as soon as he dropped out, the PC locked up, and I had to switch it off, restart it, put it all back together again, put all the bits and pieces on. So it'll be another call to tomorrow to Dell to I presume it's either going to be a memory presumably problem or processor. I've always thought it was probably a memory problem. So many of them usually are. But anyway, so that's the state of the PC. Rubbish at the moment. Seriously think it's time to get something else. As a standby one, I've got which is probably not capable of transmitting, but at least gives me a receive device. I've got another little laptop, which my son has given me at the moment. It's got a nice screen on it. It's only an i5, but at least it gives me something to get emails and receive, and that might be able to do some transmission, but down a lot. The other thing, I was having intermittent problems with, I use DATV Easy and control a little unit in the garage with a network shield sitting on top of it with a Luno, and every time I touched it, it seemed to cause problem and cut out and such like. So I assumed that it was the two boards that weren't marrying together too well. So I spent ages redoing the supports, and so they're all nicely bolted and they don't move now, but I still had the problem. And eventually found I'd used one of these nasty, horrible, cheap little leads, which was linking through to power to a particular, and that was intermittent. So that was my problem. So I sort of could swear a lot there. Everything seemed to be packing up. So I've then had a package has arrived, which is something else to play with, which I haven't got to yet. But well wrapped. Being I've been having problems with the PA, etc., is that I've invested at the moment to see that, and I will play with, is that a circulator with N types on. So that arrived. So that's my next thing to, once I get the PC working, or get a different PC, or do something. Anyway, we seem to have kept going so far, which is good. I've limited what I've actually got on the PC, which is really annoying. So I haven't got a lot of links, etc. So thanks. Let's put that back in its box. Right. And you there, Peter. I didn't comment on your audio because as far as I could tell, the sync was so far out you'd think I was having a go at you. So I don't know whether it still is or isn't. It could be my receive setup, but it was out on both of my receivers. But anyway, right. I'll pass it to you. I'll put up a test card. There's enough doom and gloom from me. And yeah, the microphone as I'm using at the moment, I don't know what the level's like, etc. It's got no noise cancelling or anything in. It's just as it is. So probably find it's better. So I've got nothing on processing on most things. I just haven't had the time and things keep crashing. Anyway, get ready there, Peter. A test card and it's over to you from G8KOE.
If Peter doesn't go, then I'll go. Your call sign is GW7BZY. Yeah, I gave you some time. Oh dear, there he comes now. Oh dear. Let me pass it over to you, Peter. See.
Apologies about that. Definitely. Martin's still talking on my phone because he's got such audio off. Yeah. There we go. His signal's a bit weedy, and I'm not receiving it here, so I had to watch him on my phone, and of course it's a bit behind on the stream, so that's why I was sorry. Apologies there to the station that came in, but I couldn't. Oh yeah, there we go. I only just got to it now, so switch that off. Stop. There we go. Yeah, sorry about that. I wasn't napping. It was just that I was following it online, and it was a little bit of a delay. Yeah, all good this end. I've been on for a while. Good afternoon to everybody. We've got a few notes because Bert, I haven't seen you before, so good afternoon to you there, and good signalling, etc. IMO, I like your holiday snaps. It looks very interesting. Looks very. You've had a good time, defo. There, and well done. I wish the missus would fly, and I could maybe go somewhere a bit more exciting than south coast of England. I'm sorry to hear you're having problems with your PC, Martin. I think was it last Sunday or some Sunday before I had to use my laptop because nothing worked after the latest update. And then it did. I had to fiddle about. I deleted DATV Easy, and then we reinstalled it, and nothing seemed to make any difference. But I hadn't uninstalled the separate config file. And once I deleted that and the whole file and every trace of it, and then reinstalled it, it worked. But previous to that, I managed to get SDR console working, which is something that hasn't worked for ages. It just spontaneously started working, although it froze for a little bit, but I kind of neglected it and it came on. So perhaps I've been a bit impatient with the software. Anyway, after that started working, everything started working. So all's good this end. So the laptop now is receiving. I've got it on a 40-inch telly just to my right. I'm losing faith with PC generated, so I'm going the same way as Michael there in Spain, and I've ordered a hardware encoder. I don't know how it'll be, whether the quality will be there, and whether or not it will be proper MPEG 5 and look okay, but we'll see when it arrives and whether it'll work, because for whatever reason now neither OBS nor vMix will directly stream to my Pluto, probably due to the last patch went on it. I'm not sure whether or not if the box is going to be, and the control panel on web page, that doesn't seem to do very much at all. So we'll wait until the device, the streaming device arrives, and see whether or not I get any success with that at all. I'm not confident. I'm not even hopeful. But time will tell, as they say. So that's this end. Is there anything else I wanted to point about? No, I don't think so. Good to see everybody else. Leon there. I haven't heard you speak yet. Hopefully my lip sync looks perfect to me. I added minus 80 milliseconds in DATV Easy, and it appears to be perfect. But there must be a better way, is all I can think of. There must be some way of tying them together, because with AVI you can interlink audio and video rather than seem to be sending them in separate streams, which I'm not even sure about, so I know nothing. So anyway, with that bombshell, I will hand it round to SZ1 SC. I think it is. I don't think that's right somehow. SC1. Time will also correct that. This is GW7 BZY. I'm just going to fade to
GW7BZY. This is Zulu Sierra 1 Sierra Charlie India. Just checking my sound there. Seems like I'm okay. Yes. Let me get my notes. I did make those, I believe. Or did I? Oh dear. Now the window has disappeared. That is very peculiar. That is very peculiar indeed. Okay, Gary, nice spiders and dishes you've got on your porch there. G4 IMO. That seems like a nice holiday. Papa Alpha 3 Alpha Oscar Delta. Nice little piece you've got working there. Martin, unfortunate about those computer issues. You've been saying in the chat that you've been having ongoing quirks with your gremlins in your machine. Sorry about that. On my end, I just came in to say hi. So I was testing all kinds of constellation types earlier this week, only to figure out that you can't use all FEC rates on certain constellation types, to which I then fired up DATV Easy, and it had all the matching FEC rates for the constellation types. And so I added those. I was also under some silly assumption that I should compile my own FFmpeg, which I have successfully on all three operating systems. So that's an interesting process to get that up and working. I'm now using it currently to transmit. Let me just check that my sound is, yeah, it sounds still fine. To transmit, and I'll use FFplay every now and then to decode the TS stream from OpenTuner if I'm testing. So yeah, I fixed a bunch of bugs in my dashboard panel, and as you know, I'm using the new firmware. So the guys on Minituner software, they would probably see my call sign as station 1. I believe it is because of the length of the service name provider string that the new firmware is sending, which is really long. I think that might cause it to, I don't know, revert to a default value, which is station 1. Would be interesting to know, but in any case, I'm on the new firmware, and about 3 weeks ago, there was no graphical user interface. So I've been building it out, and yesterday had the idea to go have a look at the BATC wideband transponder website, to which I discovered this rather simple JavaScript website. And Node-RED has this thing where you can serve one HTML file. Its contents can be endless, but then because you can't reference other files, you can just put all the JavaScript that the BATC FFT or the Spectrum Analyzer window uses in one file, and then spin it up. And to my surprise, it worked. So here is the new interface that I'm currently using to transmit currently. Any changes inside the profiles box would cause this transmission to end, the FFmpeg process to die, because it changes the muxing settings of FFmpeg. So the settings that determine how the frame should be processed from your virtual cam and your audio. So then it recalculates new bit rates, and so it stops everything. Similarly, if I press stop here, it stops the transmission, and if I press the stop under custom profile, it stops transmission and profile. So much the same as changing any of these settings. Yes, and then at the top you can set your TS input, your IP address for your Pluto, your call sign. And yes, I've been playing about with this. Got this working yesterday afternoon to my surprise, the Spectrum Analyzer, quite simply. Didn't anticipate it being that easy, but here it is. Yeah, and then I've just got another tab here for, you know, the buffer queue, and then some debug output. So like I'm working with all the settings, so just making sure that all the FFmpeg settings are correct. So this is DATV simple in a nutshell. The idea here is you can have the transmission controls on the right, your DATV easy settings on the left, and I'll have to create some interface where you can define your video and audio devices. So currently that's still working on the DATV not so easy backend that Michael DL5OCD made. So yeah, you set it up according to his instructions, and then it follows the profiles. So then you can use this interface. But anyway, that's enough. Did I even share? Yes, I did. That's enough waffling from me. I'm going to pass it to... you guys can grab it on the repository. So install Node-RED, import the flow. Good luck. And your mileage may vary. So yeah, next on the list we have Mexico 0, Papa India Tango, full to take it from Zulu Sierra 1, Sierra Charlie India.
Right, guys. Let's turn the speakers off. It's a bit cold here, hence the jacket. It's only 17 odd degrees, so I'm a bit cold. Anyhow, good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Haven't really got much to say. Let's run through a couple of notes I've got written down here. Yeah, Martin and his machines. I wish I had access to milling machines and lathes. I haven't really done that since I was at school. Yeah, I quite enjoyed the lathe. Never had access to a milling machine, but lathe I quite like. But last to say, I don't have access to those type of machines anymore. And as for Martin and his OS, well, you know what you're going to say, Martin, don't you? You should go down the Linux route. You don't have problems like that. I know I'm going to get some stick for that, but yeah, yeah, it's my suggestion is go down the Linux route. What else we got? Oh yeah, Peter, your audio sync was out with me. So can't really say much more than that. And Ohan, yeah, compiling FFmpeg. Yeah, I've compiled it for H266 and 265 and 264. Yeah, and it takes quite a bit of work to actually. It's all done on the command line on Linux. And it does take a bit of work, but it does work. I'm actually using FFmpeg, which I compiled myself on the machine that I'm talking to you now. Anyhow, yeah, and your Node Red, I would love to have a play with it, but my experience of Code Red, as you know, wasn't very good because it's got all these processes that I certainly didn't start, and I'm not happy with running processes on my machines that I know nothing about, which is one of the reasons why I run Linux. If there's a way of containing it, I would be very interested in running it. Yeah, but the work that you've done, absolutely fantastic. And as for me, well, what have I been doing during the week? I haven't really done a great deal. Highlight of my week probably was having a COVID and flu jab. So I'm all jabbed up for this year. What else have I been up to? I've been playing around with a server that I purchased. It's quite an old server, it's over 10 years old. And it's got two processors in it, and it's the top spec processors, i.e. it's the fastest processors that will run in it. And the idea was I was going to put FFmpeg on the server and run it remotely because of its processing power. But alas to say, it worked fine until I tried to put a video through it of, well, this video I'll show you. It's this video, which is one of the worst things you can do on video, is to put up a fire, because of the amount of content change is phenomenal. And I put that through it, and at that point the delay just was phenomenal, and it just couldn't cope with the amount of processing. But I'll show you, if I get my little roving cam, let's have a go so you can see this old server that I've got. There she is, she's on the floor down there. Now this beast here, and it is a beast, without any hard drives in it, the chassis tells me it weighs 15 kilos. So, but it does work. Fans are absolutely horrendously noisy, unreal. I don't know why people make fans, or companies make fans that are so damn noisy, because I know it's possible to make quieter fans, but that's another story. That's back to me. I haven't really done anything else at all, I don't think. I did a bit of housework on my little cupboard, which is outside where my PA is residing. I was out there. So I did a bit of housework out there. Get rid of a few spiders, etc. And I also removed a 10 dB attenuator which was in the line, which purely because the amount of gain that I've got out there is quite considerable. And I decided to put a 10 dB gain in it, a 10 dB attenuator in it. Well, I've removed that now and reduced the output up at this end. If it's made any difference, I don't know. But at least it's stable. I was very concerned because the amount of gain, I thought it might be unstable, but it doesn't appear to be unstable unless I'm told different. But yeah, I can't think of anything else really. No, I don't have anything else to report this week. So I'm going to hand it over to Leon. Oh yes, Leon, you did ask last week how my new Ethernet cable is going to be, because I had problems with it. Well, since I've changed it, I don't appear to be having the received problems that I was having previously. So I'm assuming the problems that I did have on receive was actually a very, very cheap and very nasty Ethernet cable. So my advice is never buy cheap cables. Anyway, that's enough for me. I'm going to put up the test card and then I'm going to hand it over to Leon. So this is M0PIT.
Okay, finally got it. I don't know, I quite often miss this little blue block with the mouse. Right, good afternoon everybody. Do we have, no, there's nobody from the west. We're all in roughly the same time zone today. Okay, yeah, Gary is gone now, but yeah, nice milling job there, but it's a rather expensive L&B mount. Anyway, it seems to be working. Right, Nick, let me see, what did I write about Nick? Oh, you had the nice holiday videos, yeah? And you said you're not coming back for a second round. Yes, that looks very much like Cape Verde. We were there at one stage doing satellite launch support there, and it looks very similar, the movements and so on. Okay, Bert, I saw you earlier in the week doing some tests and things, so I thought, Bert has found his shack again after such a long time. I don't know what a NUC computer is, and you say you can't get it out to change the fan. What do you want to do with such a small computer? Or is it very powerful or whatever? I don't know. Right, Martin, your PC lockup. Okay, firstly, my transmit PC, I use two PCs. That one is for transmit and that one is for receive. The receive is an oldish one. The transmit one is quite a heavy machine, and I bought it specifically for transmit. And I had loads of problems with it in the beginning, until it also used to shut down and do all sorts of funny things and freeze up, and it just got worse and worse, and in the end it just died. So I took it back to the shop, and they found that the solid state drive was faulty, and they replaced that
and they put Windows 11 on it and all my programs and stuff, and never a glitch again. So those things, you do get duds of those little, not the SATA solid state drives, the one that goes onto the motherboard, the new stuff. They do go faulty, and they know about it because they have no problem swapping it for a new one. So they don't seem to be so reliable. But yeah, I must have a good one now. So maybe that's where your problem lies, I don't know, but your transmission was fine. And your audio is perfect, your picture is perfect. You don't have anything to worry about at the moment, as long as the thing doesn't lock up. Okay, Peter, I don't know what's happening on your side. First, your sync is like a couple of sentences out, but you started off with what sounded like a noise gate, because there would be deathly silence, and then all of a sudden you'll have audio. And then halfway through you moved the mic or something, and then the noise gate was gone, and I could hear fans and all sorts. It was nice, lively audio. And then towards the end, it went back into that noise gate mode. So I don't know what the heck you're doing there, but it's funny. When it works, it sounds good, but yeah, it's on and off. All I can say about all your knoppies and things, I want that Spectrum display. That's the one I want. The yellow one. Maybe green, but the yellow is nice and bright. And it's fast and it's lively. It's like absolutely real time. That's the one I want. So, make a plan. Phil, yeah, but gee, was that server thing of yours, it's got 6 fans and it's got those long high velocity fans. They are noisy. Obviously the thing, as you say, it's about 10 years old. It still generates a lot of heat, so they have to move a lot of air. That's why it's so noisy. But anyway, okay, what have I been doing? I'm getting very busy now with the flight termination system for the next batch of rockets that they want to launch. The University of KwaZulu-Natal in Durban, that they want to come and launch here at our test range in Arniston. So I've got the mock-up thing working. I was just busy drawing a new PC board for one of the modules on the PC, and I must make the board probably tomorrow or so. And yeah, we're very, very busy doing transmitters for the test flight center for the Air Force, and then also the flight termination system for the rocket people, and yeah, all sorts of other things. And my workshop, my mechanical workshop, has finally completed, and I've moved in all 3. The lathes are in there, the drill machine is in there, the workbenches are in there. Yeah, so I can actually start working in there now. But now we're busy with the garages next door to clean that up, paint it, and also put zillions and zillions of shelves in there, so I don't have stuff standing on the floor. Because I'm tired of trampling and climbing over things to get to the next thing. And what's in that box? You know, no, I don't want that anymore. So I need lots of shelves, but it's expensive, eh? Good shelving is very, very expensive. Yeah, in South Africa anyway. Okay, right. I shall give it to Paul. Oscar Echo 8, Papa Charlie Kilo for the group from ZS1 Mike in Worcester. Take it, Paul.
Yeah, Paul has put on the thing. Sorry, I have to leave the net, we had a surprise visitor. So that's why Paul isn't there, Leon from G8KOE. To leave the net.
Okay, thanks, Martin. Right, then I think Nick said he's only on for one round, so I presume he's not there. But if you want to take it, then we're standing by. PA3 AOD for the group from ZS1 Mike.
Yeah, okay, thanks Leon. There's one Mike, it's Pop Alpha, 3 Alpha Square for the group. And let's see. Oh, I showed you in my first round my little machine. And I got already received 3 emails about how to remove the PCB board. So this net is perfectly for repairs. And as you can see, the board is removed from the cover, the PCB. Thanks for it, Hank. Yes, but as you can see, the fan was not working anymore, and as you can probably see, I don't know how good you can see it, but it's a little bit dusty. It's yeah, it's not rather really clean. It's terrible. So I have to clean it up and try to replace the fan, and maybe also a small battery, backup battery. It's over here somewhere. Yeah, point your finger correct. Oh, over here. That's a small one. That's what stands on it. It's a CR2032. The well-known 3-volt lithium small one. So that one is also replaced. So, but I will first clean it with some air, and then try to replace the fan. And it was my server, so it's not a heavy one, but running Ubuntu on it as a small server, and that was perfect. So I use a big PC with a Pentium i4 or what call it i7, i9 or whatever. There's a small i3, and it's doing its job perfectly. Did its work perfectly. Okay. Yeah, that's all. Nothing more to tell. But some rain over now, and now the sun shining. It's on and off, alternating. Sun, rain, sun, rain, sun, rain over here. Okay, thanks for the net, and also for partly leading it, Leon. And probably I will be in next week. I got maybe something more to show. For some other projects I'm busy with. Real projects. This is not what we call a project. This is necessary. Let's see, the next one on the list will be then in the UK again. Yeah, Martin, G8KOE. Have a nice week, and see you maybe next week. Send then to the UK. Okay, Martin, catch it from Pop Alpha 3 Alpha Oscar Delta.
Yes, I am there. It's just a bit. SSC drive. I hadn't thought about that. It is one of those silly little PCB ones. Because I was going to do well. Originally, I was having a problem putting the operating system on. I thought, I'll take the hard drive out, and I'll sort it out on another PC. I've got to link it up to the laptop and sort the partitions out, etc., etc., and sit out. So I took the top off the or the side off the computer in this case, looked in and went, it's not there. It's not where it should have been, according to all the YouTube things. And I suddenly looked at the board and I thought, there it is. It's that silly little thing there. So that's a good bit of advice. It could be. It's a similar sort of symptom. I can run the PC sometimes. It'll seem fine virtually all day, and you think, it's all working, it's all fine and such like. And you perhaps watch something on YouTube. You perhaps watch a YouTube video, which is what I was doing, sort of trying to push, thinking it was maybe the graphics was packing up, etc. And you watch one video and you go to click on the next one and everything just freezes. So you have to switch off and boot up again, and you try a few things and think, it's all working now. As I did having reinstalled the operating system from a USB stick, booted up and popped it all in, which went exceedingly quickly. Apart from getting Node installed, yeah. Anyway, what sort of, can we lift? This is going to be left screen. Sorry, we could have the main screen, couldn't we? That's my monitoring device, which is connected to my is the one that Tom did. So that's got the settings set to WS //192.168.1.64 and the port was 7681, and that works very well. So I have local monitoring there, irrespective of what happens on the BATC. So that's what I do, Leon. But it didn't work out cheap to buy the appropriate SDR. Right, let's go back to the camera. I haven't really got a lot more else to add. The circulator that I showed, I will carry out some experiments with that on the PA, etc., and see if it does help make any difference. Use the VNA, etc., see what that thinks. But that's sort of put to one side a little bit at the moment. But it's good on your information on getting the PCB out. It's always easy, and it's good that there are others there watching and helping. It's very good indeed. Superb. Right. And Peter, you need to get your receive sorted out. I'm not running more power for your weak receive, and your audio is it's on another net, I think. It's on either the next net or last week's net. I can't make out which one it is, but anyway, it's enough of bits and pieces from me. I think abuse, shall we say, to you there, Peter. Right. Now, I'm not sure how this is going to work out, because I'm going to hand it back to you, and you're not going to be aware that I'm handing it back to you because you're somewhere else. But anyway, perhaps we'll put up a test card and play a bit of music and then drop it. Perhaps that's the answer. So this is going to go over to you in a minute there, Peter, from G8KOE.
Juan, I think you better take it. It sounds like Peter's not making it this time. Maybe he's really on a different planet at the moment. So take it, Juan. ZS1 SCI for the group from ZS1 Mike.
ZS1 Mike, ZS1 SCI. Yeah, Peter's probably somewhere out there. You need to get your local receive sorted. That helps. Yeah, I let the Weaver now. I'm going to make some dinner, and yeah, thanks for the net, everyone. I'll try and think of a way to bundle this LED dashboard so that you can just open it and configure stuff. But yeah, that's still some bit away, but for now, proof of concept's there, it's working. New firmware has a graphical user interface. Yay. Have a nice day. ZS1 SCI, and let me just pull up the list and see who's next. It might be Phil, Mexico 0, Papa, India Tango from Zulu Sierra 1, Sierra Charlie India.
Thanks, Arhan. Yeah, if you do manage to get it as a single package, and don't forget to have a look at Linux. Make life easy for me to install it. I would like to try it. It's just basically keeping control of Node-RED. That's the thing. Don't want Node-RED adding processes when it's turned off. Anyhow, that's another story. Leon, fans. That's quite interesting. Not that I know a lot about fans, and I don't know a lot about aviation. But in the dim, distant past, I used to work for Centronics, Data Corporation. Now, you've all heard of Centronics Interface. Well, there was a company called Centronics, and they used to manufacture printers. And when I worked for them, my younger youth, they're no longer around anymore, but anyway, when I worked for my younger youth, they had a dot matrix printer, an OEM, which means it's for offices. It's not a little plastic job. It's a beast. And it did sit on the desk. It was basically a 350 series. There was a series of them. They were called 350s, and they were dot matrix. And in them, they had a switch mode power supply. And the main complaint the company got was because the fan was so noisy. The fan itself was just like any fan that we know today, black plastic fan. Nothing special, just a black plastic fan, but it was very noisy. Well, they obviously got some developers on it and worked on the design of the fan. And the replacement fan that came back, and I only wish I had a photograph of it, it was a square fan, as we all know, but it had a metal, I don't know what you call it, a propeller blade that goes round. It was made of metal, wasn't plastic, it was aluminium. And I think it had something like about 6 blades on it, but they were not shaped in the same way that normal fans are. They were almost flat, and I think they had a ridge in it somewhere. But the most significant thing about it was at the ends. they had what I would call an upstand like that. And I noticed that some planes today have a bit at the end of the wing that sticks up. Anyhow, these fans apparently pushed the same amount of air as the fan that they were replacing, but they were very, very quiet. You could hardly hear them when they were running. I have not seen that design of a fan anywhere since, but as I say, they were in the 350 series dot matrix printers that Centronics produced. And as for my server, this is one of those said fans. I mean, look at the size of the damn thing. Look, it's huge. I've never seen a fan that is so deep as that. These are horrendously noisy. There's 6 in there. If these go on at 100%, I would not be in this room for more than about a couple of minutes. It really is loud and they scream. Yeah, you just couldn't be in the same room as the server if you had all of these running at full power. And what else have I got to say? Oh yeah, my FFmpeg, because I'm running Linux. I don't have any fancy GUIs looking after my FFmpeg, like DATV Easy or Not So Easy. All mine is done on a command line. It's on a bash script. But this is what it looks like. This is my monitoring. Now, how's it done that then? I've never seen that before. How strange is that? Perhaps I can't show it. Let's try it again. It worked earlier. Let's have a go. Desktop. No. Okay. I have no explanation why it looks like that. It wasn't like it before. And I don't know what to do to get it so that you guys can all see it. But it's basically a command line. And that's, when I look at it, it's telling me that I have got no errors, which is all good. Well, that's enough for me. Hope next week I'll be able to tell you something exciting that I've been doing, unlike this week, which has been quite unexciting, apart from my COVID jab and flu jab. So right, I'm going to hand it back to Leon. So this is M0PIT. Going to put up the test card. Press that button there. There's my test card, and I.
Okay, Phil. Very interesting. Thank you. Yeah, boundary layer fences. Those little things on the. Yes, that'll kill a lot of the noise, because you're virtually building a siren when you have a spinning thing. And although it's actual flow, you do get some of the air being swung out from the centrifugal force. But if you can contain it with those little fences, then it's all actual flow and nothing going to the side and hitting the spokes. Anyway, okay. I see Owen has run off to his braai. Paul has got visitors. Peter disappeared. Martin, yeah, your transmission was perfect every time now. Bert, he's got his computer out. And Nick is gone. And Gary is watching the kids in the pool. So, okay. I think then we shut down the net, and we do so again next week. I hope I'll be here. Yeah, I think I should be. And yeah, we thank all the entities who made it possible for us to have a nice worldwide chat here. I wonder where our friends in India are, and our friends in Israel. They're very quiet. And also there on the western side. Ed, where is he hiding today? Okay, guys, thanks for coming up. And 73 is from Worcester, 70 miles from Cape Town. Bye for now.